Portions of the following program may have been pre-recorded.
The following program's views, claims, or ideas may not reflect those of WSRR Radio or StylesRebelRadio.com.
In the Steel City, where the rivers align, Lucas and Dom crossing the battle line. Weekday mornings, it's a sportscast scene behind enemy lines in the heart of the dream. Every play discussed, every game analyzed. Cleveland's pride seen through Pittsburgh eyes. Behind enemy lines, where the passion ignites. Cleveland and Pittsburgh battling in sight. Lucas and Dom rise with the sun. Every morning at 10, let the games be fun. Tune into the waves, feel the thrill unfold. Behind enemy lines, stories to be told.
Welcome to Behind Enemy Lines, your Cleveland sports talk show from Pittsburgh on this beautiful Friday morning. WSRR Radio, nationally local, meaning we play your local bands on a national stage. That's the station you're listening to right now on your 10 o'clock block on your Friday morning. I'm Lucas Strazio, joined as always by Dom Farrow, and it is a Browns victory Friday. I know we used to come out on Mondays. We come out on Fridays now. Can't really celebrate victories as much, but Browns looking really good against the Dolphins, 31-6 win last weekend. Looking forward to this upcoming weekend. I didn't really watch the game that much, Dom, because it's the Browns and the season's already over. But a game that I did watch a lot, and actually by a lot I mean every single snap, Steelers, Bengals, Thursday night. We recorded before that game happened, but the episode came out after. Give us your initial reaction to Joe Flacco throwing over 300 yards and beating the Steelers in prime time.
Well, I mean, at this point, it's not an initial reaction. Like, it's been a week, and my initial reaction was, pure anger. This was an inexcusable loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers, just based on where they're sitting, 4-1 coming into this game, such a big lead in the division, looking great to even be a number one seed in the AFC, and to come into this one and put up this type of performance, especially on defense, is, like I said, inexcusable. 33 points to Joe Flacco and the Bengals. He had over 340 yards, three touchdowns.
The defensive game plan sucked. It was terrible. To have an offense that has Joe Flacco as their quarterback, he's been there for a week and a half. He obviously is taking over probably the best, if not one of the best wide receiver duos in the league. With T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, he's going to throw to those guys. Like, there was so many times that I saw the Steelers defense almost rolled away from Jamar Chase to where he had one-on-one matchups in the boundary, and Joe Flacco can throw, stop routes and slants to him all day.
Yeah, and there's a lot you can say about Jamar Chase's performance. It was historic, you could argue a top 10 performance all time in NFL history for a wide receiver. And this Steelers defense, there's over $150 million in contracts. That can't be happening. You can say whatever you want about the whole game. I mean, Jamar Chase is a special player. He's going to ball out. But on that final drive, when you're up by a point, and all you need to do is hold them. Just don't let them get a field goal. There's about a minute left, and Jamar Chase is wide open multiple times on that final drive. That's where I had officially lost my cool. Like, it's all right. You can understand him torturing a defense because of the player he is, but once he does it 10 times, are you going to stop it? Once he does it 15 times, are you going to stop it? And they didn't. They couldn't.
16, actually.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, he had 14 going into that final drive, I believe, and then he gets 15 and 16. It's like, figure it out at some point. Like, change something. And I saw, Joe Flacco, he's been playing Mike Tomlin for 20 years. Tomlin's defense hasn't really changed much in the last 20 years. He knows what he's going into. I'm not any like defensive expert or anything, but from what I saw, it was very similar approach every single time. And Joe Flacco, as a veteran, he's seen it too many times. He tore that team apart. And now like I've trashed the defense. I gotta say, like, the Steelers' offense did look good. This isn't on Aaron Rodgers at all. Jalen Warren looked really good as well. Pat Freiermuth had a nice game. The offense, it's not their fault. They put up 31 points. It's the defense that gets paid an incredible amount of money that lets up this amount of money to a 40-year-old dude who they've been playing for 20 years. So it's on Tomlin and the defense.
You kind of expected that type of performance from the Bengals defense, and then the Steelers defense matching them when, they have a excuse me. This is a flu game for me, folks.
Flu game.
We went over this a little bit before recording, but coming down with a little bit of something here. It's definitely like cold and flu season, so everybody bundle up, all right, especially in
He's
the
putting on,
Northeast.
though. He's getting you this episode no matter what.
Dom's my Pippin. I'll play flu game. That was his. That was what he said before this episode. But he'll carry a little bit.
I'm throwing alley-oops.
What was I saying? I don't even remember. They have a 7-time Pro Bowler at one corner and 6-time Pro Bowler on the other. And I know that like they're older guys now, and physically it's going to be hard to match up with a guy who's at the top of his game. Definitely in the prime of his career, and he's one of the top receivers right now in the league. And if he keeps up at this pace, he might be one of the top receivers of all time. He might be in that conversation. But just again, like the lack of awareness of what's going on was really sad to see. What the lack of awareness that I see a lot is Aaron Rodgers has like no social cues. Like he looks like such a dick out there. Like I can't imagine being on a team with that guy. He just does not look like a good time to be around at all. Like,
are you talking about him getting tackled by Broderick?
Even throw being his teammate out the window, but like just being around him looks like such a bad experience.
I disagree. I think he'd be the man to get a beer with.
Nah. He's so
and I don't agree with him on a lot of things.
He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room no matter where he is.
Well, he probably is the smartest man on that field at any given time.
Yeah, but like you don't have to act like it. You don't have to be a total jerk to your own teammates. Like there's such a thing as like putting the team above yourself. And like right now, I think that can come in at a time where it's like putting the team above myself would be being the jerk in the room and being like, holding us to a standard. But like when you get tackled by a guy after, when he's celebrating you putting up a late game touchdown, like I understand that can be annoying, but like tell him turn around and get the F off me, like what a douche.
All right. First, like the Broderick thing, he's 40 years old. He tore his Achilles 2 years ago. That's an insane move. He didn't get tackled all night against the Bengals. The only time he hit the turf was when his own 300-pound teammate tackled him. Like, that just can't happen. So he had the right, I think, there to chew him out. And then as far as, like, him, like, outside of that, he does, like, chew out his teammates a lot on, like, failed third down conversions, which I prefer over just, trotting back to the bench and, giving up. Like, Michael Jordan, they said, was a jerk, a bad teammate, but he just demanded excellence out of his teammates. I think that's the same thing that Rodgers is doing.
I do think it can be good for the team and it can be, beneficial as a leader. But in terms of who I'd want to get a beer with, quarterbacks in the NFL, I think he might rank dead last. That might be a tier list that we have to make in the second segment.
Shador Sanders is dead last.
Shador is pretty low for me, but some people would really like to just to like hear what he has to say.
Flex on
hear
you?
His perspective. Yeah, so he can flex on me a little bit, see the rollie iced out with the baguettes in it and stuff like that. But no,
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't personally like to very much, but like if he can kind of ground himself and like, just tell you what the perspective of having Deion Sanders as a father is like, maybe. He'd be pretty cool. I think that might have to be our second segment is tier list of quarterbacks I'd get.
Yeah, I like it.
Right now, I think number one in the league might be Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones just looks like a chill guy. He seems like a very down-to-earth fella.
I mean, yeah, he seems all right. He seems pretty cool, but like he's just an average dude. Like I feel like he wouldn't like shock you with anything.
That's why.
Which,
That's why I want to get a beer with him.
I want someone who's going to shock me with some crazy stuff. Like Baker would be a great one, obviously.
Baker would be good. He would be entertaining for sure. It's not necessarily, I guess the question isn't necessarily entertainment factor, though. I feel like it's almost just like camaraderie. I feel like Jared Goff, same thing with me. Like, I'd love to sit next to a bar with him for 2 hours and slam a couple Coors Lights.
Yeah, that's a fantastic one. That might be an S tier, if I say
Jared
so myself.
Goff. Jared Goff, Daniel Jones. What about Gardner Minshew? I feel like he's like bordering on that. He's like bordering into that Baker area where it's like he's, he's a little.
Gardner's not bad at all. I'll tell you an F tier guy though, Carson Wentz. That'd be
Carson
a painful
Wentz might be kind of lame. That might be a tough hour to go by. That might be one you start asking for the pub mix and the peanuts at the bar. You guys got anything I could nosh on? You might call for your tab a little early there. Another guy that I don't really know if I don't know if I want to say this or not, but like I don't know if I'd have a great time with him. Dylan Gabriel. I feel like he might be a little too vanilla for me, but I could also see him being the Hawaii kid, having that Maui Wowie, like it's laid back, chill. He might be all right, a little more down to earth than I give him credit for.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. I haven't seen anything bad from him. There's a lot of questionable ones like Kyler Murray. That's a coin flip there.
Well, you could like talk about like playing video games with him though.
Yeah, but then outside of that, like
Jordan Love.
You haven't seen that show.
Is Jordan Love cool? I can't even tell.
Dak, bad show.
Dak, not a good hang. Not a very good hang.
Jalen Hurts, the worst hang.
Lamar S tier. Jalen Hurts would be
sure.
F tier because he would like try to throw motivational quotes at you and stuff like that.
He'd try to get all philosophical.
S tier. He'd probably bring Kodak in. You guys would be hanging out, kicking it with those Florida Jits. Who else?
Kodak, codeine, whatever.
Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, I think
would
could go
be cool.
either way too. Like
I'd like it.
I feel like there are times where he's very down to earth and whatever, but then like other people have said he's kind of performative in the way that he's like Joe cool, Joe chill. Like, is he really that chill, or is he just like, is he presenting as chill?
No, I think he's nice like that. I think he'd actually be a nice hang. Caleb Williams and Justin Herbert, those are two that are like wild cards. Mm-hmm. You don't know what you're going to get. I think
Herbert would be a great hang. I actually think Herbert would be awesome. I think that,
fishing with Herbert.
Yeah, getting a beer out there on the lake. I think that I've seen some like clips of him at practice when he's mic'd up. He sounds like he's got like the movie quotes down. Seems like, a guy who's taking in some media. He's a guy you could talk about The Office with, I feel like. Something like that, like something stupid, like a TV show.
Now,
who was the other one you said? Caleb Williams? I think Caleb Williams might not be that fun to hang out with.
Yeah, I could get that too. I feel like he just wouldn't want to hang out with me.
Yeah,
or anyone for that matter.
I don't know if I'm on his steez.
I've met 3 NFL quarterbacks. All 3 are benched at this point officially. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and Kenny Pickett. I can say Kenny Pickett was actually really cool. Always the man. I've talked trash on him before for how he left Pittsburgh.
Is that when you delivered his DoorDash? Do we ever tell that story? I
delivered him DoorDash once. Yeah, I think I've told that before.
Tell that story on this show, have you? I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure I've told it. Well, I'll tell it again. I mean, I was DoorDashing back like in college, a little after like COVID, like 2021 type. So like DoorDash was popping. And one day I get like 3 orders from Cava, which is like an Italian like place out in near the University of Pittsburgh. And so I went it was like 3 orders that I picked up. I just grabbed all 3. I dropped one off, dropped the other one off. The last one, I'm like, look at it, and it says Kenny P. And this is when Kenny was at the Pitt still. He was the quarterback.
This was his like last year. This was his Heisman run year too, right?
This was
good year.
This was just before that season.
Actually, no, that's right.
Which is
I remember you being excited about it because you like kind of followed Pitt, and I was like, that guy sucks. Like he was a starter for like 3 years there. I was like, he's a bum. But go on, sorry.
Yeah, he wasn't like anything special. Like he was decent. Like all 4 or 5 years he was there. But then I delivered him DoorDash. He like opened the door without his shirt on. Gave him his food, left.
Beer gut.
And I forgot. I forgot his Mountain Dew in the car. I'd driven away, and then I looked. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Kenny Pickett's Mountain Dew. So, like, I had his phone number. So I was like, yeah, I'll call him up. Yo, Kenny, I forgot your Mountain Dew. You want it? Spun back around, gave it to him. And then after that, he was, Heisman candidate. And then drafted by the Steelers.
It's all because of the Dooski.
But then I met him a second time at when March Madness was in Pittsburgh, and that was just a quick interaction, but he was still pretty nice and cool. Russell Wilson seemed like a robot. He's just a robot. That's all I can really say. He didn't really have much to say. He just said the same thing to everybody. And Justin Fields was pretty chill, pretty nonchalant.
Yeah.
Nonchalant kid from MD Foodie Boys type beat.
Oh, all right.
That's a deep cut.
Never had a vegetable type beat.
That's a
type
deep
shit.
cut there for the real ones.
Fire.
So yeah, I'd rank it though,
Fire.
like honestly, Pickett, Fields, Russ.
I specifically remember you telling me that story in college and being like, I gave him his food and I was like, oh man, like that's the Pitt quarterback. And like again at that time he wasn't a Heisman candidate. He wasn't going to be like a first, second round pick. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then you were like, yeah. And then I went back to my card and I realized I didn't give him his Mountain Dew. And I was like, oh damn. And then you were like, but I thought if it's for Kenny, I got to turn back. And you said you went back and gave it to him. And I was like, that guy's not even that good. But then he ended up being all right. Just like this show, pretty all right. Behind Enemy Lines, keep it here during the break for our next segment.
If LimeWire taught us anything, your digital music is free and open to piracy, and even manipulation when it comes to digital distribution. So why settle for a bunch of ones and zeros floating around on the internet? Make your release something special with Hellbender Vinyl. Hellbender is one of America's most trusted custom vinyl record pressing plants and works with local artists to get their next release pressed exactly to their liking. So check out Pittsburgh's first and only custom vinyl pressing plant today by visiting hellbendervinyl.com to get started. And don't forget, all customers at Hellbender Vinyl get 5 free test presses at no additional charge. Hellbent on quality, hellbent on service, hellbendervinyl.com.
Hi, this is Melissa,
And hey, it's Matt.
coming at you from Synergy Music Studio.
We are a recording and production studio located on the south side near Chicago.
Check us out online at synergymusicstudio.com. We offer recording, mixing, and mastering.
And follow us on Instagram at Synergy Music Studio. Rock hard.
Welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines. We are brought to you by our friends at Hellbender Vinyl, Pittsburgh's first and only custom vinyl record pressing plant. Now, you know, if LimeWire taught us anything, your digital music is free and open to piracy and even manipulation when it comes to distribution. So why settle for a bunch of ones and zeros floating on the internet? Make sure your release is special with Hellbender Vinyl. Hellbender is one of America's most trusted custom record vinyl pressing plants and works with local artists to get their next pressed exactly to their liking. So take control of your own music and go to hellbendervinyl.com. Hellbent on quality, hellbent on service. Hellbendervinyl.com. Behind Enemy Lines, NFL Week 8 is up. It's around the corner. Last night was the Vikings versus the Chargers. That was a thrilling one. Big time game for Justin Herbert, a legacy game, some would say. As you know, we're recording this before this one, but I think this is the game that the Chargers have to win. And if the Chargers don't win this one, then Justin Herbert's not elite. So if you're listening to this now and they lost, then Herbert's not elite.
Yeah, I think at this point in the season, too, they really need it. They're bringing out the Navy helmets, a little throwback look, so they better win. It'll look good. I do think that Herbert needs this one. I feel like this is what he does so much and like why there's so much debate around him, because there's these games where he looks so good, like they beat the Chiefs on opening night and like it's like, oh man, they might be a Super Bowl contending team, and then like they've done nothing really since. And what's their record now? They're around 500, right? Like they're just kind of a team that always floats around in the middle, I feel like. And at the end, like, at the end of the day, that's the worst spot to be in the NFL, is to be a middle of the road contender every year because you're not doing anything in the playoffs. You're not getting closer to your goal, but you're also not getting high draft picks. And it's a really tough place to be, especially when it makes it even harder when you have a quarterback who does show some flashes, and it's like we know he has all the talent in the world, but like we just can't get it together around him because then you never pull the trigger on moving to the next guy either.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to give up on Herbert because of the
What do you got over there? Gummy worms?
little
You're mucking on him in the middle of the show? What is this?
a little sour punch.
Have some respect for BEL, man. What are you doing?
Because it's a midnight
Your mouth
episode.
is blue.
I needed something
Your mouth is blue.
in a way. But yeah, the Chargers are in a decent spot, but they could have capitalized on it with the start that they had. The AFC West hasn't, been too strong this year. The Chiefs, again, hovering around 500. Broncos have been up and down. So they're still in the mix here, but they need to get hot again. They've been decimated with some injuries, though, throughout the year.
Yeah.
Rashawn Slater to
Slater
begin.
going down before the season, and now Alt as well, missing some time. Obviously doesn't do them very good. And it is a tough division because, I mean, you obviously have the Chiefs who beat the shit out of the Raiders last week and looked like they're kind of back to where they want to be. I know it's the Raiders and they're not good, but it's a divisional opponent, and anytime you can blow out a divisional opponent, like, you'll take it. That's kind of the thing that I think can really get them back into the swing of things. And then the Broncos, who now, come up with one of the games of the year, beating the Giants late. I mean, what a game from Bo Nix. First quarterback ever to have 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns in the fourth quarter, something like that.
Wow.
Coming down from 18-point deficit.
More than that.
Spectacular one to save the BELA from last week.
That's right. Eventually got crushed.
It did get crushed. I'm not gonna lie. After that one, I had to cash out. I was like, that was too close for comfort. Let's get what we can out of this. Like, there's 2 ways to look at it. It's like, oh man, like the football gods want this parlay to hit, or it's like, oh man, I gotta count my lucky stars that I got out of that and get the money out. I made like $20 on that. Immediately lost it on blackjack, like we had talked about not doing last week.
No big deal.
But I fell victim to it again. What can I say? Not all of it. Not all of it. I then used a lot of it for for some other stuff that worked out pretty well.
But the BELA has been getting closer every week, which is what matters, and we'll have that for you in the last segment here. But I want to go back.
Say, should we start cooking that up right now? I was looking at some of the lines, but go ahead. If you want to go back to something, you go back to something.
I just wanted to talk about the Chiefs real quick. Last week we touched on how Mahomes was the MVP favorite, how we are a little surprised about that. But then last week, putting up 31 points on the Raiders, Rashee Rice is back. He looked phenomenal. I think they're in a great spot. Monday night this week against the Commanders, they're 12.5-point favorites. Jane Daniels is going to be out for this game, but still 12.5 points on this Commanders team who has still looked decent without Jane Daniels this year at points. That shows what Vegas thinks about this team and where they're at right now. I think the Chiefs are going to be a juggernaut for the rest of the season, and I'm unfortunately, I'm back that I think that they're going to win the Super Bowl. I just don't see another team doing it.
It's really it is just every year now hard to bet against them.
Yeah,
like their receivers don't look as good as they've had in the past. Like maybe that's not the case right now, or the defense isn't looking together. They're a little out of sync, but at the end of the day, they have Mahomes, and no matter how bad they're playing, you still feel like they have a chance to win every game. And it's just like I don't think that they're the best team in the league, but I also just don't think they'll lose in a close playoff game.
Yeah, they're the most well-run team. I don't think they're the most talented, but they got a system and it's working really well right now. So what are some of these lines and overs and unders that are looking nice to you right now?
Well, my number one lock of the week is going to be Patriots minus 375 against the Browns at home. I know that's not a huge profit, but I'm throwing that into a parlay. I think that the Patriots have it rolling right now. I don't think there's any chance that Cleveland goes into Gillette Stadium and beats them. Drake May looks awesome. He's looking like my franchise quarterback on my dynasty fantasy team. So much so that I'm, debating getting rid of Joe Burrow. But that's a conversation for another time. I think the Patriots, I'm fully bought in on this 6-game win streak that they would have if they won this game. I love Vrabel again. I think Vrabel's a good enough coach to where he can get the team to where they won't lose to bad teams.
Yeah.
They got the one out of the way against the Raiders first week of the year, but week one's always a crapshoot. You can't really bet on anything. So that's my first lock of the week. I don't know if you have anything else to throw into a lay, but mine would be Patriots money line.
Yeah, there are two that are really sticking out to me right now. One of them is the 49ers money line, which they're underdogs versus the Texans right now as we're recording this. The Texans are not a good team at all. The 49ers are a really good team. I think it's as simple as that. I think that's I don't know, maybe it's a trap line, but I like it a lot. 49ers money line.
They're on the road. They're on the road there. And you said they're favored, but they're still only minus 105. It's kind of a pick 'em here with the spread at 1.5 as well. Niners
still
are
like
at
it.
plus 1.5, but I don't know how. I guess that
You're
makes
not
sense.
loving it? Texans are not
I don't
good.
know. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just too close to. I mean, obviously it is too close to call. That's why they're both negative here. They're, like I said, it's a pick 'em. But
What about the
I would
over?
take it.
41
If you tell me to put it into a parlay, I will.
Well, here's the
Over
other one that I
41.5,
like.
I think I like that a little bit more, maybe.
Here's the
But
other one that's really standing out to me on the board is Bears plus 6.5 versus the Ravens. Lamar Jackson's status is still up in the air for this week. Even if he does play, I think the Bears still make it a close game. They've been getting better every week. The offense will make it competitive. I like 6.5 here.
DeAndre Swift has looked like the best player on that team, and he looks like he's, I think we've talked about him already on this show like a week or two ago. He's had over 20 points in fantasy football the last 2 weeks, and he's just looked awesome. I really like that one. Their money line's at plus 235. I like the 6.5 there. They are on the road, and Lamar is coming back. And if he's at full health, he could be coming back. And if he feels comfortable, it is a dangerous thing to bet against. But
I also
don't
like
mind it.
I like the Steelers money line a lot versus the Packers on Sunday Night Football.
Ooh.
But
I don't
that
know
might be a
about
tough
that
one
one.
for you to put in there.
They're at plus 142. I can't touch that one. My other lock might be the where'd it go? I just lost it. The Falcons minus 455 money line over the Dolphins. I do think that, again, that's not one that adds a ton of value, and they only scored 10 points. Now, granted, it's against the 49ers, who are very good defensively. But the Dolphins just look so bad. They're on the road in Atlanta. I don't think there's any chance that Mike McDaniels has another 4 weeks as the head coach of the Dolphins. I'm honestly surprised that we haven't heard anything already about movement there.
Yeah.
But I think that's another lock is the Falcons money line. That game is probably just going to be terrible to watch all around, in all honesty.
Yeah, I probably won't be tuning this one. I think Falcons are a lock. I'm also surprised McDaniels wasn't fired after last week. But yeah, minus 450 ain't too bad for the Falcons. So what do we got here?
Fool in Cleveland on the sidelines. He had the hood up. He had his big stupid sunglasses, even though it was dark and rainy. They had the lights on. There's no reason for your sunglasses to be on. It rained the entire game. I don't know. I think that everyone's kind of sick of him. I kind of am. We'll see where he goes next. You think he'll be a head coach in the NFL after this or no?
That's
Maybe I
don't
shouldn't
know
say
who
after.
needs
I think
him that
eventually
bad.
maybe, but
Maybe
right
eventually.
after, do you think?
I don't see that happening. I don't see a team that's desperate for that type of approach right now. If that makes any sense.
What type of approach is that? I'm just curious as to how you characterize his approach.
He's like a players type quarterback. Type coach. He's like Mike Tomlin in that sort of way. Like, he's there to keep the morale up. He's not there to, like, he's not like a Ben Johnson type of guy. He's not an intense. It's just not an intense type of coaching, is what I'm trying to say.
But is that a player's coach then? I just feel like he at least wants to be like technical.
He wants to be liked. That's the problem. He wants to be liked, and I don't think that's what NFL owners are looking for. They don't want a guy who's a bigger star than the players on his team. I just think he's more of a distraction than anything. There are a lot of coaches in the NFL that you don't really know much about them. You don't really hear anything from the press conferences because they aren't going viral, which is most of the time a good thing. There are few coaches whose press conferences go viral. That's Mike Tomlin, Mike McDaniels. I don't know. I think those two guys, though, have a similar approach in how they work with their players.
Anytime Andy Reid talks about food, they'll flash that on all the Instagram accounts.
Duval.
Sean McVay sometimes, but not really. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course, Dan Campbell, too. He's got some moments.
But that's because he's so intense.
There's so many, welcome to the NFL coaches for rookie. The rookie coach press conference always has some good viral moments, I feel like. When Dan Campbell's was talking about biting, in Dan Campbell's press conference, he talked about biting their kneecaps off when they're knocked down and getting back up and taking another chunk out. And all
that was
stupid
a
stuff.
Great one. That showed that he was going to change the culture. I think after we record here.
Well, see, that's the thing, though, is that it is so funny looking back because all of them sound so stupid when you first hear them. Even now when everyone's like, they're going to bite your kneecap and then we're going to take another chunk out, like he sounds like an idiot.
I never thought that.
Now he has turned the program around and he looks awesome.
I never thought that. I'm just going to say that. I thought it was always sick.
Yeah, all right, sure.
I think
and then like Cohen coming out and saying Duval, like again, sounded so stupid, but the Jaguars are looking decent right now at least.
Well, the biggest one, like the goofiest one of all time, I think I'm going to watch it once we're done recording, is Nick Sirianni's introductory press conference. I remember it being one of the most cringe things ever, just like one of the most uncomfortable things, but I can't remember specifics.
Yeah, he's from Mount Union. He's a pretty cringy guy overall.
But he gave the Eagles their first, give them another Super Bowl
since Doug Peterson.
Yeah,
since Nick Foles got it done. Yeah,
Nick Foles.
I mean, it's definitely not an easy ask to come out and give like a good motivational press conference.
Well, have you ever seen the
welcome to the NFL?
Have you ever seen the UCLA coaches press conference when they joined the Big Ten?
No, I have not. What did they say? What did they say there? Give me this rundown.
He was like, well, if you don't know anything about us, we're from LA. And that's it. And he was like, we're also in California.
Who doesn't know anything about UCLA?
Exactly.
They're a very storied program, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Like we know where UCLA is. But he got fired.
UCLA is, buddy.
He got fired after an 0-3 start that year. He says, I'm sure you guys don't know too much about UCLA, our football program, but we're in LA. It's us and USC. I'm basically excited, really. That's it.
What the hell kind of quote is that? That sounds so stupid.
That's just what the article says.
So, we're UCLA, and the LA actually stands for Los Angeles. So, so that's where we are. We're kind of close to like USC. I know you guys have heard of that.
Stands for
that type of
Southern
that
California.
type of press conference. Yeah.
The Sean
Thank you for
Foster.
the quick geography lesson, I suppose. But Tom, one thing that I've in this NFL season and in a couple of the past ones that I've really come to realize and appreciate about the NFL is that a day watching football on vacation, like if you go on vacation during the NFL season, like with your friends, you can make a whole day out of just being like, yeah, there's football games on all day.
For sure.
And it can be a spectacular, like, football makes vacations so much better and like trips so much better.
But it's stressful when you don't have
really like
the right viewing experience. If you don't have the right viewing experience, it's stressful. It's like, we got to find a restaurant that has TVs and that's showing this game. And like I went on vacation this year for the first week of NFL, and it's like, gosh, like how are we gonna? Because now there's so many different streaming services too. It's like, oh, like how are we gonna get on Peacock and whatever.
You know what? I think this is perfect. I'm currently planning my bachelor trip, which you've been invited to. You're in the group message for.
Let's go.
It's on January 17th and 18th weekend, divisional playoffs week. I think it's going to be perfect because there's only going to be one game on at a time.
Yeah.
So we can all buy into like one game instead of all having like 50 different bets where we're all kind of, looking at our own phones. And
we all
like
take
that.
the over.
I do think it's great when it's the first or second weekend and, like you have all these different things. But, like, after 17, 18 weeks of that, it's like, all right, now I want to lock in on one game and see every play and hang on the edge of my seat on every third down. And I think it's going to make for a spectacular Saturday and Sunday.
The playoffs are the best when you can just focus on these games. We talked about before, it's like red zone is too distracting. It's nice to just put on a game, start to finish, and really just soak it in. And in those playoff games, you also get the best commentators, too. Like, they just make it feel like a bigger game. So, yeah, it's going to be great. Hopefully we can get all the boys to ride on an over on something, like a player prop. Get everybody bought in on something.
We'll have a parlay cooked up.
No doubt.
We'll have a couple. We'll have some
a BELA. We'll let y'all in on it, too.
Yeah, the people will be winning big on the BELA on Martin Luther King weekend. It'll be spectacular. You can stick with us for more BELAs throughout the season. We've been, like you said, we've been getting closer and closer. First week, we were way off. Last week, one leg missed. I took some cash out on it, and I'm sorry that you guys couldn't ride that.
They might have,
obviously, but honestly, I wouldn't doubt that some people have.
You guys are smart.
Seeing that amazing comeback win for the Broncos.
So what is our BELA, though, this week? Because we were just saying a bunch of stuff we liked.
That's right. We'll have to fully lock it in and make a final decision after this final break. Stick with us for the BELA. Don't go anywhere. Right here on WSRR Radio.
What's the difference between the shirt you're currently wearing and the one that I am? Well, both do their job of concealing us from the outside world and social boundaries. But one little black swoosh makes yours cost nearly double. That red rectangle may not change how warm you are, but it certainly changes the price tag. The truth is, nobody cares about the details. Get to the point with GenericClothes.com. Have a laugh at the big brand clothing company's expense with shirts that simply say sports team, political statement, music band, and more. A shirt for any occasion and the perfect gift. GenericClothes.com.
Welcome back to Behind Enemy Lines, the number one sports show in Pittsburgh, the number one sports show in Cleveland, and the number one sports show in the world. We're brought to you by GenericClothes.com. Nobody cares about the details. Get to the point at GenericClothes.com because they got some fire stuff over there. Check it out. We love their stuff. You should love it too. Behind Enemy Lines, we're back. And ladies and gentlemen, there's some major beef in the NFL between some people that you might not have suspected it. The first one being Sean Payton, who I think is a jerk, and the other one is the nicest man in the world, some would say. The holier than thou, Russell
Mr.
Wilson.
Unlimited?
He tweeted out.
What did Mr. Unlimited say?
Mr. Unlimited. Well, I guess I should first say what Sean Payton said, which was basically
I don't know anything about this, so I want the entirety of the story.
So this is kind of funny. The previous segment we were saying like a lot of coaches don't go viral in their post-game press conferences. Well, Sean Payton did after the game against the Giants. Apparently, Sean Payton had told John Mara, the owner of the Giants, that he was hoping that they'd turn to Jackson Dart at quarterback after this game had passes. Giving a little shade to Russell Wilson, a little bit of praise to Jackson Dart at the same time. But Russell Wilson felt slighted. He tweeted out, classless ... but not surprised ... Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later through the media. Hashtag let's ride, laughing emoji, sunglasses emoji. He got 107,000 likes
He's doing
on
too
that
much
tweet.
with that tweet. I'm not gonna lie.
So the
He's doing
NFL
too much. If he would have just said classless ... when you first said that, I was like, all right, that's a good response. I kind of liked Russ more for that. And then he was
kept going.
What was next?
But not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later.
First he said classless ... and I was like, okay, that's a good response. And then you went, but not surprised. And I was like, all right, didn't need it, but I didn't ruin it, I guess. Guess you're still bounty hunting. Shut the hell up. Get
Come
over
on.
it. Sorry.
I mean, what is Sean
It's
Payton
over.
talking about?
It was
though?
over after the class. If he would have just said classless but not surprised, I would have been like, damn, he cooked him a little
Yeah,
bit.
but Sean Payton took a shot at him, so he took one back.
Yeah, but
Russell
then to be
Wilson is the
like,
one to take shots.
Yeah, I see you're still bounty hunting now. It's like, shut up. Shut up, puss.
Come on now.
Get over it, dude.
Come on now.
Get over it. See, to me, like, and I know
What about the
I
hashtag
know
let's
that, like-
ride? What do you think about that part?
that's so stupid. And sunglasses emoji. Come
That's
on,
where he
bro.
lost me. The hashtag let's ride.
What was it? Hashtag let's ride. What was it? What was next?
Well, first it was sunglass emoji, laughing emoji, then hashtag let's ride, and then the sideways laughing emoji.
Oh,
He hit him with two
way
different
too
types of
much.
laughing emojis.
That's way too much.
He was kind of doing
That's
the most.
way too much, man. That's such a millennial boomer. Millennial boomer. That doesn't even make sense. But
He is a nice
it's
mix
just
of
so
that, though.
like that sounds like something you'd see on Facebook, not Twitter. Like that sounds like a Facebook post.
Don't
To me,
disrespect
I know
Russ,
it's
though.
like it's hard to put myself in their shoes because I don't, obviously I'm not in their shoes. But like, if I was getting paid millions of dollars a year to play football, like, no one could say anything to me to make me be like that triggered. Like, and again, like if you would have just like, not, I shouldn't say that triggered, but like if you would have just said like classless, then I would have been like, oh, whatever. Like I said already, but like, I don't know, the fact that he just like was reaching so much. Like
Well,
if I
don't know.
if I had as much money and like was like, yeah, dude, I'm literally an
Yeah.
NFL quarterback.
But
like I
no.
have a Super Bowl ring.
There's so many
Like,
like NFL guys who are petty and like do all this stuff. Russell Wilson is like the last guy to ever do that, and I think it just shows how much of a jerk Sean Payton is that he'd go out his way to say this.
My take on it though, my counterpoint to myself is that maybe they need to be like petty and like testosterone driven. Like that's what makes them great in the end. And like so confident in themselves.
Yeah, but
like,
they get that out of Russ.
I don't know.
Takes a
man.
lot.
Russ. I don't know. This is also the guy who videotaped himself calling himself Mr. Unlimited. I don't think it takes that much. I think he clearly, smells his own shit.
Yeah, but like, what's worse, that or Sean Payton demanding that his players take opponents out of the game?
Nah, he was just being a player's coach, just like you said last segment.
I am not a Sean Payton guy. I never will be. So I might be biased against him in this
Did you watch the
situation.
movie did you watch the Disney movie of where he's the coach and it's Kevin James as Sean Payton?
No, that sounds like the worst movie ever.
It's so bad. It looks so bad to me, but like my brother-in-law who has like a kid who's, I think he has like an 8-year-old kid and a 13-year-old kid, like they watched it obviously and he was like, I think it was pretty good. And I was like, oh, get the hell out of
He
here.
loved
Someone
it.
else said the same thing to me. It was so stupid. Have you seen what I almost said Sean Payton. Have you seen what Kevin James is doing on TikTok? I'm so
No.
confused.
No.
He's posted 4 TikToks as if he's just, and like he made this account called like Mr. Matthews or something,
Okay.
and it's clearly Kevin James. Like there's no way it's not him unless this guy just looks and sounds exactly like him. But he's like, I think it's Mr. Matthews, but like he comes on the camera and he's just like, hey guys, Mr. Matthews here. So what we were doing today in art class, he's like a middle school art teacher. He's like, so what we were doing today is this, and like as you can see from the contrast here, like whatever, and like something like that. He was pointing out a painting, and then like in one of his other ones, he was like, see this sign in the hallway? I like this sign. It says reading takes you to new heights or something like that. He was like, well, that's something that art can do too. And then he was like, my student was painting this week, and like all the comments are like, this is just like, I know you're Kevin James. Like, what is he doing? Someone's like, he's researching for a role or something like that. But
how do you get into a classroom?
I have no clue. He's like videotaping kids too. I was like, whoa.
Wait, are you sure this is him?
I'm almost like there's no way it's not him. Like you look at it and you hear his voice and like it is Kevin James.
Huh. I
Like,
looked up Kevin James on Twitter.
And
I'm not seeing anything.
It's not on Twitter though. It's on TikTok.
But
and
he's
his
like
name's not Kevin James. His name's like Mr. Matthews or Mr. Dillon or something. I don't know. I forget what his name is. I'll have to find it. But
yeah,
it's like
sounds interesting.
It's like what's going on with Kevin James right now?
I'm gonna look up. What if I looked up Kevin James teacher? You don't think anybody on Twitter would be?
That's what I'm.
Oh wait, Matt
Kevin James
Taylor.
Art teacher.
Matt Taylor.
Mr. Taylor. That's it, Mr. Taylor.
I don't think. Wait, is that
someone? There's a
pretending.
whole TikTok article. There's a whole article that just says Kevin James is trying to gaslight us.
Huh?
Is anyone else being gaslit on by Kevin James on TikTok right now?
It could be AI
stuff. No, I don't think it is. It looks too good to be AI.
I don't know.
I really don't think it's AI. Which I know, that's the scary thing is maybe it got me.
It's very possible. This video stuff is getting it's getting good. I just got like a free trial for the ChatGPT Plus, so it gave me like the.
Oh, thank you for contributing to the emissions.
It gave me like the free trial for the video thing, so I used 30,000 gallons of water to make the dumbest video of all time. But basically, like they have this second app. So the ChatGPT is the second app for like AI videos, and it's called Sora, and it's basically like a 1-to-1 of TikTok, except all the videos are AI. And like watch,
I've heard about it.
I can't scroll on it. It gives me like I'll watch like one video, maybe scroll one more time. It gives me the most unsettling feeling watching it. I absolutely hate it. But the video, like I created like a video or two. It's pretty dumb. And if it's as bad as I forget.
Did you create like the Rizzler doing a backflip or
no? So they're like super. They're super restrictive. They're super restrictive with stuff like copyright. So I think I was like trying to like do like something with the Steelers. Oh, the first one I did was like me like a post, like a fight, after a fight, like getting interviewed in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
You?
Yeah.
You uploaded? Don't tell me you uploaded a picture of your face to this app.
Well, yeah. You like turn your face around and shit.
Oh my god.
What do you mean? Oh my god.
What are you doing, man?
It's open AI.
Now people are gonna make deep fakes of you committing crimes or doing porn.
Oh, that's the other one I did. I made a video of me.
Oh God! Wait,
robbing a jewelry store. And
robbing a jewelry store?
And it looked way too real. I was like, wow, I'm really gonna get incriminated for a crime I didn't commit in the future.
Dude, you got to take it easy with that. That's not something to be messing around with right now.
It is pretty
not
nutty.
Something I want to put my face on, man.
It is.
They force you
good.
to do a face scan before you.
No, they don't force you to.
Use it?
No, they don't force you to.
Okay.
And you can like choose, you can like allow people to like use, like put you in their videos, which is crazy. There aren't a ton of people who do it, but like Shaquille O'Neal is in there, like Logan Paul. Like, so you can.
Oh, Shaq, what are you doing?
You can like make videos. You can make videos of them doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of people making videos of Logan Paul or Jake Paul actually doing like get ready with me videos where he's like in a skirt doing his makeup and stuff. You seen those?
I have not.
They're pretty zany, pretty silly,
pretty zesty. All right, let's do these.
They're awful zesty, awfully zesty.
Let's finish up and confirm this BLA with the last 4.5 minutes that we have on this program. The one you love the most was Falcons money line versus Dolphins -420, right?
I don't know if I like that. It's -455. You stoner, take it easy. -420.
I got 420 on FanDuel. Awesome.
DraftKings, it's 455. I don't know if my favorite is that though, or the Patriots over the Browns. I don't.
We'll put them
think
both
there's-
in there.
I mean, yeah, I would put them both in there. I don't know if there's any chance that the Browns win 2 games in a row. I just don't see that happening in this political climate.
It's a lot to ask, and the Patriots are a great team. In Atchulette, with
the
how
current
this team's
state of
been
the
rolling,
world.
that place is going to be bumping. I'm going to put Bears plus 6.5 in there
Plus 6.5. Okay, I like
versus the Ravens.
it. Away at the Ravens.
No big
That
deal.
does make me a little nervous.
Lamar's probably not even going to play.
Buccaneers at the Saints. That might be another good one.
I think it's a trap. I don't know.
Really?
For some reason, I think it's a trap.
Coming off
Those
the
lines
loss,
don't make
though,
any sense
the
to me.
Buccaneers losing to someone else.
I know. That's why I feel like it's a
Did they
trap.
just lose to?
They lost to the Lions. I'm telling you, I don't like it for some reason. It seems too good to be true. To get that minus 205 versus the Saints, the stinky
I got
Saints.
minus 225 on DraftKings.
Hey, they're giving you
I think
guys bad
Saints
odds.
stink. I'm not trusting the Rat
All right,
Pack. I
if
don't
we
care
put
what you
Bucks,
say.
if we put Bucks in there, I gotta put 49ers.
I
in
think
there.
if
I gotta put
think
49ers.
I would take the Bills over the Panthers instead of the Bucks though. That would be my pick. Actually.
Well, let's put them all in there.
Oh geez, we're just
A
basically
six.
picking every first slate game.
Six leg parlay here. Falcons money line over the Dolphins. Patriots money line over the Browns. Bears plus 6.5 versus the Ravens. Buccaneers money line versus the Saints. 49ers money line versus the Texans. Bills money line versus the Panthers. Week 8 money makers. Anything that you're worried about here before we lock this in?
That plus 6 worries me. I'm not gonna lie for the Falcons. And then the Niners
For the Bears?
Yeah, the Bears. Excuse me. Anytime you get a spread where you're in the plus, I don't know. Like I said, you can't. It's hard to bet against Lamar Jackson. It really is hard to bet against Lamar Jackson. And then the Niners beating the Texans are the only one. Like I said, that one's pretty much up in the air. It's a pick 'em. I got minus 105, minus 115 on DraftKings. I don't know what you have on FanDuel, but what are the odds looking like on that? On a $10 bet, how much are we winning?
10 to win 104. It will be the biggest one yet if it hits. So stick with
Spicy.
us with
the biggest
BL.
one yet. None of them have hit. Anyone would be the biggest one yet.
Exactly. So we keep saying that until
It'll
it
be the
hits.
biggest in history.
So we keep
This
running
is
up.
unprecedented if we win.
I placed another bet here. I had like $2 left in my FanDuel account. We talked about earlier, I think the Chiefs are a team that, again, are destined to win the Super Bowl. They're plus 500 to win the Super Bowl right now. I parlayed that with Ohio State to win the national championship for my boys and our listeners in Ohio. So parlaying that, $2 to win 47. Whatever.
Big future.
Teams of destiny.
Well,
if it's
thank
going to
you guys.
happen, let it happen.
Thank you for joining us here once again on WSRR Radio. This has been Behind Enemy Lines.
Peace.
The preceding program was a sponsored production. The views, claims, and ideas expressed may not represent those of WSRR Radio.